We are almost going for half term, and I wish to welcome you to lessons. Our virtual lessons are still on by your beloved teacher, Madam Zwenje Priska, on edutainment for us. Now, I know some of you have been asking about the last laugh, as we have been selling other guidebooks around for content for grade 8 and 7. Now, many teachers are asking for grade 9, and I know some of the teachers and students and parents are also interested. Now, be set, and we'll be discussing this book. Today, I'll just talk about entire book, generally, what it's about. Now, the last laugh is, there is a proverb that says, he who laughs last, laughs best. So this story was actually based on that. Now, the writer, Robinson Ocharo, has written this book, which is approved by KICD, and the book is focused on the character who is oppressing workers. Yeah? And who is this character? You should be aware that we have a character known as Orwa. Now, Orwa is an old man that inherited a farm from slave owners, right? Now, during slave times, you could own people, you make them work so much, but you don't pay them anything. Can you imagine that? Is that a good idea? I don't think it is. Now, when you look at this book, The Last Laugh, it brings to us Orwa, and Orwa is that old person currently who has 2 sons and a daughter. One son is called Ami. He's already married. He has a wife. Then we have a daughter known as Kola. Then we have Oka, who is a boy almost in teenage years. Now, Kola and Oka, unlike the other son, Ami, they tend to differ from what their parents trust. Yeah? So you realize that Tai is also the wife of Orwa. Orwa, as the husband, believes in servitude, or rather slavery. So he has these workers who work on his orange farm, and he also has cows, and sometimes even they do work on the general farm where he plants maize and beans. Now, the farm produces about 250 liters of milk, and then from the book, we have 500 orange trees. Can you imagine that? That's a big farm, right? And they have maize and beans. Now, this old man can only afford to give the workers rotten maize and beans for their consumption. He has also constructed a health facility, using old tin. Like there was a truck that was stuck, an old rusty one. So there's a doctor who has to take care of them. However, as the book starts, we see them, they are not being actually considered. The doctor is more of, blaming them for the fate. Like when a child comes and they have kwashiorkor or marasmus, he tells them to go feed the children well. There is an old man who is coughing. He does not even attend to them. He just closes the file and walks away, because we have a certain old man also known as Mariko, a leader of the workers. And this man is reminding Orwa that he should do the best for the workers, Like he should make sure he provides them with medicine, proper food, proper shelter, clothing, and money. Remember, as a slave, you are not paid anything. Yeah? So the workers are being treated as slaves during those times, and so they are not being paid anything. Can you even work without being paid currently? So when you see this book, The Last Laugh, you realize that they are not being paid anything, and they are complaining because they go for medical care. No one cares whether they are well or not. You can see this old man is coughing a lot as you open Act 1. He's even covering his mouth with his hand. He's reading a newspaper. Yeah? And there's a long queue at this premise. Now, Oka, the son to Orwa, and Kola come in because the workers have called Kola. Kola came about, and When she looked at the workers, she was like, oh my God, are these the people who toil so much for us? She's that caring and concerned. So she was told by Mariko that go call your brother. That is the brother who is concerned about the workers again. Now I told you the name. Do you remember the name? If you can remember the name, that's good for you. So, yeah, we see that Oka now comes, and when Oka comes, he starts to talk to the workers. He's asking one after the other their problems, their grievances. Yeah, he's such a lovely, caring, concerned boy. So he asks an old man, what's your problem? The old man says, I have a problem with my chest, but your old man forces me to work even when I'm sick. You see? We have mother, that's the lady whom the doctor stopped taking care of. She's asked, what is your problem? And she says, could your father understand what it means to sleep in a leaking house? Yeah. And she also asked, can your mother understand what it means by a child sleeping on a hungry stomach that rumbles? Yeah. So those are the questions, and of course, they're indirectly revealing their challenges. So Kola and Oka decide to free the workers. The workers sing as they go. Do you know the song they were singing? They were singing, kwa mzee ni mateso. Kufanya kazi kwa mzee ni mateso. Now, before that, they had been singing another song. Yeah, you know this song about I will answer when he calls me. I will answer when he calls me. I will answer when he calls me. I will answer the call of the Lord. Now, in this book, page 4, instead of the singers, the workers singing this, what do they sing? They say, I will answer when he calls me. I will answer when he calls me. I will answer when he calls me. I will answer to the call of my comrade. Now they are saying laboring somewhere, laboring somewhere, laboring for my boss, even if somewhere, laboring. So they are just singing a freedom song because they want freedom, right? Yeah, so as we move on, reading the text, we realize that Mariko continues singing, and that is when they call the son of Orwa, that is Oka, to come. And when he comes and releases them, they sing as they go. Right? Now, when you move on with the text, you realize that Orwa was very annoyed. Yeah? And he began to retort the son, cursing him for having released the workers. And at the end of the day, he was planning to hurt his son. Yeah? Such a cruel man. So the wife, Tai, is also very annoyed that it happened, but she's a bit cool. So Orwa says he's the boss, so he'll teach the kids some lessons. Remember I told you he has another older son. Do you remember the name? If you don't remember, then I'll make you remember the name. I told you there is a son, an older son, Ami, right? So Ami has been used to these cruel ways in which the father treats workers, and he's not concerned. Of course, he's so happy. He takes everything he has in their home. There are so many vehicles, so why should he worry? Why worry, brother? And everything is sorted. So we actually see Orwa decides to call the sons, yeah, and the daughter, and he's there, when he's seated with the son and he's questioning him why he released the workers. The son begins to tell him, you have been treating these people in a very bad way, and they wanted to curse you, And when the old man was cursing, I stopped him and I saw the need for them to be freed. And the father says, what do you know about freedom? Do you know what you've just done? The privileges you receive is because of what is around. And the son says, no, father, it's time they be free. They don't have medicine, they don't have shelter, and they don't have the best food. And there's so much they are going through. So the father is so annoyed and calls the police. Can you set your own? How would you feel if your father sets police on you? Or if your father, would you do this to your son? So exactly that's what he does. So he sets the police on the son and tells them to hold him in until he says he should be free. And of course he returns some workers to the farm. But the workers begin to talk ill of the father, and some of them are continuing to curse. And remember, when Oka was arrested, he called the father and told him, can you imagine being arrested? And the father said, you deserve that. Let's see how you'll get yourself out. Let's see how the workers will continue being free when you are in. Yeah? So, welcome on board. I can see two people there. I don't know. I can't actually see who they are, but I'm so happy that you're watching. There are two more who came in. You are free to watch. The third has just come in. Welcome on board. Yeah. So, you realize that Oka is put in prison, and the police mistreat him a lot. They mishandle him because that is what Oro has said. From what Oro is saying, he's a very arrogant man, and he tells them that he's ready to lose a son than lose workers. And workers are working, but they are complaining. So they are praying that Oka is released. So before he knows, Orwa is struck by an illness that makes him unwell. Yeah? And he's almost falling. And the workers are just looking at him. Yeah. Can you actually help such a person who is cruel and has been mistreating you? It's hard enough, unless otherwise. So, at the verge of death, yeah? Imagine this man who has been so popular, rich with so many vehicles, cars, and what have you, the tractors. Now, when he's so weak, he says the illness he's having cannot be treated because his son Ami comes to his rescue and he's telling him, can I call the pilot to call the doctor so that he's here and attends to you? And he's like, no, this is not a normal illness. I'm just feeling okay, but my body is weak. Yeah? I can't actually feel a specific illness. There's a pain coming, and once it comes, I feel weak. So I think he believes he's been cursed. The curse has really caught up with him. Now, when the sister, that's the daughter caller comes, she informs them that, remember, if they bring about the son, Oka, he will be well. So Oka is coming from prison. And when he arrives, his clothes are torn. You know, he's not in a good condition, actually. So the father looks at him and it's like, I'm very sorry, my son, for what I did. And you've taught me something. And the story just ends. I wish it continued. So we will be discussing later aspects of styles, characters and characterization, themes, questions, So just be patient. And if you really wish that I do this immediately, just let me know, because I know so many teachers were asking for this analysis as we were walking around with a book that had analyzed other sorts of stories for grade 8 and 9 and 7. Yeah, so stay tuned. I've also done the poems, that is Dot of Nature. I've analyzed them. And for those who are also taking Melodies of Africa, hodi hodi na mashairi mengine pia tunaendelea. So usiondoke, kwa sababu wakati wowote na si leo tutaweza kuwa tunachambua mashairi haya. Karibuni. So bye bye for now. I wish you well. Nice time. And thanks those who came live. Thanks for the support. I love you a lot. And I really wish you well. Next time if I have a live, share, and remind your friends who want to watch to follow up on what I'm doing. Thank you.